back, guys, and I see you are too. For all my new viewers and subscribers, welcome into the Butterfly Squad. Welcome back, guys. So I got a question about how did I choose or how did I build my website. So I am a nurse by background. I am not a web designer. I am not IT anything. I'm not any of those things that would quote unquote make me a professional at doing any of this. So these are just the things that I did and how I came up with my final product. So going into this, obviously you have to do a lot of research because I had no idea about some of the terms that I had to learn in the process of building the website. So one of the two terms that you're definitely going to need to know that are going to be important is a domain name. Domain name is what your site, how people are going to get to your site. So currently mine is www.purplebutterflysquad.com. Whereas on some of the other blogs and things that I started, it was www.purplebutterflysquad.blogger.com or .wordpress.com. So, typically whenever you're looking at websites and considering to be more legit or professional, they like to see, they trust things that are .coms and .orgs and .nets. So you have to buy a domain name in order to do that so that you can take off the part of wherever you're building your website at. So it's no longer a .wordpress or a .blogger. So buying a domain name, I got mine from Namecheap, I believe it's called. But you can get them, just Google purchase domain name, and I'm sure you'll get a lot of options of places where you can go and get your domain name at. You'll put in what you want. They'll tell you whether or not it's available. And then they'll give you a list of how it can be listed. So you can choose a .org or .com or .net or .co if it's available. So I chose a .com, obviously. And I believe I paid about $10 or so for my domain name. And I believe there is a yearly cost, but it's pretty minimal. For you to have a domain name so that you can look more so that your site is viewed to be more professional and something that you are proud of. So I have a .com and I got it from Namecheap. So then the next thing you need to know is hosting. Hosting is once you decide that you're going to do this, now you need to pick a company that whenever something happens to your website or you're having issues with your website, these are the people that you call and say, okay, my website's down, can you fix it? Or there's something going on and it's got an error message. These are the people that you call to do the maintenance, the back end maintenance of your website if it's a web cloud issue. So wherever you go for hosting, that's just as important because those are the people that you're going to rely on if your website is not working. So say that you are running an online store on your website, you're going to need and want somebody that is reliable and that is always available that you can call and say, my website is down, because then that starts to mess with your revenue if you don't have somebody that is reliable. So you have people like GoDaddy, Flywheel, Bluehost, HostGator, and the prices definitely vary. I know when I was looking, I looked at Bluehost and I looked at Flywheel, and I also looked at HostGator, and their prices, Bluehost and HostGator prices are definitely more competitive than the one that I chose to go with, which is Flywheel, and I'll tell you about that a little later in the video. So then you have, so those are the two things that you first need to know about: hosting and domain name. That's where you start. So then what you need to do next is determine, are you going to be selling things on your website, or are you just going to be doing blogging type stuff? Once you decide that, then you can decide, so who do you want to go to in order to build your website? So the three that I ended up doing some things with until I decided what I wanted to do on my website. So I did this all out of order. So I'm trying to help you get some order so that you don't do what I did. So I started with Blogger, which is great. They have a lot of different templates and styles and things that you can choose from to make a beautiful website. You can purchase a domain name with Blogger. The issue that you may run into is that it's not as translatable to other hosting sites. So just be aware of that. If you do buy a domain name on your Blogger site, that if you wanted to move off of Blogger and go to say like Bluehost or HostGator or whatever, GoDaddy, you may not be able to take that domain name because they may not talk well. So just keep that in mind. But Blogger's great. I've seen some very beautiful blogs that were created on Blogger, and it can be done. And that is where I started initially when I started doing this, and I think that website looks pretty good. I didn't put a lot of work into it because, like I said, it's pretty much like a plug and play. You have tons of templates. You pick which template you like, pick what color scheme you like, and you get to writing. And then, so that's Blogger. So then I went to WordPress.com. Also another good blogging site with tons of templates for you to choose from. I also still have that site up as well. This is when you start to get into a little bit more difficulty, I guess, in trying to build the website, because they have a lot of different templates, some plugins, those kind of things that you can pick from there. Again, I think it's fairly simple to use, but not as simple as Blogger. I am not sure if I think they do. You can upgrade on WordPress.com, and they have like a business upgrade or professional, I believe it's called. So you can also get a domain with WordPress.com. And like I said, if you want to go check that website out, because I still do have it up, and that one is purplebutterflysquad.wordpress.com. That was fairly simple. What I realized when I got there is that I could not successfully build a online market like I wanted to. So then that took me to WordPress.org. So when I got there, they give you 5 options, I believe, of hosting companies that are pretty much, you just pay for the hosting and then you hit a button and it downloads your WordPress. They also have several different templates for you to choose from. Sometime if you have already started something on WordPress.com, you can, if they have the same template in WordPress.org, you can transfer that information, and then you won't have to start from scratch with building your website, which is what I did. I was able to migrate what I had done already in WordPress.com to my WordPress.org. So this is when it comes down to why I chose to go with Flywheel for my hosting company, because they do free migration. So they were able to take my old site and bring it into my new site, so I didn't have to redo all of the work. And the migration, like I said, was free. So I opted to go with them. They are a little bit more pricier, and they're $15 a month. However, guys, they are based here in the United States. I believe like in Texas or something like that over there. And they are very responsive. I had several issues that were user issues that they ended up being able to help me with. And they, like I said, they were local, and they had Skype, and it was just really seamless communication in order to help me get my website up and running. Because once you get it up and running and you buy your domain name, you have to then go to your domain name site. So I went to Namescape or Namecheap, and then I had to point my domain to my website. So of course I couldn't figure out how to do that. So the guy on IM for Flywheel walked me through it. So he helped me do that. So I think it's $15 a month. It was well worth it with going with Flywheel. And plus I didn't have to redo any work because the migration was fairly simple. Because of that same template that I use in WordPress, they had it over in the WordPress.com site. They had it over in the WordPress.org site. So that was awesome. And in the WordPress.com, you have tons of plugins that just kind of made me being able to do the online shop that I have a seamless process. So it's a lot of plugins and a lot of YouTube videos that you can watch that'll help you get your website to where you want it to be if you know what it is that you want it to do. So that's why first you need to know your domain name, if you want to do a domain name, and a domain name and a hosting company. Then once you know those things, you then need to decide what you want to do on your website. If I would have done that in the beginning, this whole process would have been easier, because I would have just went to wordpress.org to start with, because it had what I needed it to do. And you can also blog from there. So if you haven't checked out my new website, then I have my YouTube videos on there. I have the shop on there. I have my blogs on there. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel from my website. You can subscribe to the website from my website. It's just a one-stop shop for everything Purple Butterfly Squad related. So if you are trying to build a website and you are going to be selling merchandise on your website, I definitely recommend that you go with wordpress.org in order to do that. And then when you look at they have a list of 5 domains when you go to that website hosting, a list of 5 hosting companies that they speak well and work well with that you can choose from. And like I said, the prices vary, but I chose Flywheel because of the migration. So if you're trying to do that, I definitely say go with wordpress.org if you are selling things on your website. And they also, because I know a lot of people talk about Shopify and all that stuff, but they have a plugin called WooCommerce, I think I'm saying that right, that will do all of that as well, and you can take PayPal and everything on your website. So if you're just really looking just to do blogging, I would definitely say do Blogger or WordPress.com, because those 2 things will definitely give you what you need just for straight blogging. And they're definitely easier to set up. Blogger is definitely more easier to do than WordPress.org, but I think they both offer about the same benefit. So it really just depends on what templates you want how you want your website to be designed, because the templates obviously are very different. So I would just kind of peruse both of them to see which templates you like on which site, and they'll both give you the same functionality. So my website is built on wordpress.org. My hosting company is Flywheel, and my domain name was purchased from Namecheap. So I hope that I did not talk too fast, because I was trying to get all this information out in less than 15 minutes. And if you have any other questions, guys, please leave them below, because I will address all questions, because I love communicating with you guys in the comments. And if you need me to do another video on something or give you more information about something, let me know that in the comments as well. Like I said, this is really a down and dirty type of video. Just hopefully I addressed the things, I think I addressed the questions that were asked to me, but if you have any additionals, please let me know. So this is the time, guys. If you have not subscribed, now is the time to do so. And as always, I am going to give you time to do that now. So thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for your comments below. Thank you for thumbs up and sharing this video. And guys, guess what? I will check you later. Until next time, peace, love, and locks. Bye, guys.